So we lost a little time. I had downloaded all files from this memory card, which I thought was pretty big. It's 64 GB. Next time I'll get a bigger one. We downloaded them onto the computer, and then we formatted the card and deleted all the files on the card. But the files that we downloaded onto the computer didn't download properly. So I spent the past few days, actually all of Saturday and Sunday, recovering. Thank goodness we could recover all those files of all the videos we shot, minus I think a couple, and we lost some portions of some other ones, but we were able to recover the bulk of everything that we talked about previously, which is really important. And if anybody wants to know, if you do delete all the files on an SD card and you haven't recorded anything over top of that card already, there are programs available that you can recover. You need to download a program that will allow you to recover those files, and then you need to repair those files. So 2 programs that I downloaded in order to recover everything. A little bit of an expensive lesson, but worthy nonetheless. So when, I'm not sure what happened in the download to the computer, but they didn't make it. We're in the process now. The final stages of cleaning these shells up. I'm taking the clamps off of the bass drum, which has both re-rings glued in it. The only drum that's not 100% complete is the snare drum. We're going to glue that re-ring in today. And we're going to clean up the edge on the bass drum once the clamps are off. The rest of the drums I will start sanding the interiors of, getting them seamless and smooth and ready for the sealing process. We use our chemical satin finish to seal the insides of the drums. Because they're solid wood, we want them to be protected. We don't want them to move. They will continue to cure over time, but we want them to be stable. And this also is something I feel that it is an integral part of the Bucks County sound. So let's get started. Let's take these clamps off first. I'm just going to check the camera, make sure everything's still functioning properly here. And we're good. I had some little glitches here and there with the process. It's difficult when you're doing everything by yourself sometimes. Steve will be with us on Wednesday. Steve is only here 1 or 2 days a week. When he's here, he's a huge help. But you know, he's got other stuff to do, and we're working on bringing him in full time. And that would be great once we can make that happen. I'm going to show you something when I'm done with this. It's actually a beautiful kit we'll be working on for Steve coming up very soon. We ordered these from a company that currently makes a series of drums for us. They're made to our specification. And the kit that I'm going to show you is all birch, except the exterior is what's called royal ebony. It's a species of ebony, but it's more white than black. I'll bring you over here and show it to you. And it has high contrast. It's really, really beautiful. So if you take a look at that, it's really something else. These are the rack toms, and we've got the bass drum and the floor tom, and then the matching bass drum hoops. And then this is just going to get a high gloss. This is going to get a birch semi-solid application, except for the bass drum down there. That is going to get mahogany put into the inside, which gives a different sound, yet it's warmer and rounder. So I'm really excited about those shells for Steve. And then up here we've got some beautiful cherry shells that we got in from the same place, made to our spec. And so these are the projects coming up. You can see I've got all the other little drums lined up here, ready to be sanded and sealed, I'm sorry, with the hoops down here. These all get sanded and sealed. And something else I'm really excited about that we finished up is this mold. I don't know if I showed this to you yet, but the box is made out of 3/4 inch birch plywood. We used a form, which is over here in the shape of a drum shell. It's perfectly round and had a bottom on it, you can see, and we had that screwed to the bottom of this octagon here. And then what we did was we poured this polymer. It's a urethane rubber basically in the compound. It's like epoxy, a 2-to-1 ratio, 2-part agent. And we poured that inside the mold and let it sit for 48 hours. And then we pulled the mold out. Actually, yesterday I was here on Sunday because I didn't want to let it go too long, and it was important. There's a release agent. We waxed this, we sealed it with finish, we waxed it, and we put a release agent on it. This is like ice. It's like ice smooth, glass smooth right now, very slippery. And that was important so that what we're left with is this perfectly smooth, perfectly round mold. And I'm very excited about this, because what this means is that we will be able to make 100% of all of our own ply sections as well as our solid shell sections. And we're going to be developing a whole new line of drums around this. So we'll have the prime series, we'll continue to have made. We have the semi-solid, which we're working on in this video that you see me do and see me make each and every portion every step of the way with the yellow heart. But then we'll have a whole other series of high-end ply drums we'll be able to make. And this is a snare drum mold that we made, and we're going to make another snare drum mold, so we'll have 2, maybe 3, and we continue to make, you know, things in a production format so we can have a lot of things going on at one time. And the other thing is that we can make all the sizes. We can make toms and bass drums with this method. It's very cost effective, and so far it's yielded a perfect result. Now the one thing we are going to do, the next step on this mold, is I'm going to drill holes through these flanges. These are flanges that I glued on before we did anything, once the box was built. I'm going to drill holes through here, 3 of them each side. And then we're going to take this, this is very heavy, we're going to put it on the saw, on the table saw like this, put it up against the fence, and we're going to slice it all the way through. Before we do that, we're going to put the strapping on this side and on this side. Then we're going to take it, we're going to slice it all the way through, flip it over, and slice it all the way through here. So we'll be left with 2 halves. And the reason for that is when we glue up our shells in here, we got to be able to get them out. So we make a mold that can be taken apart, or at least loosened and separated. And then once we cut these, we'll make a shim that's equal to the thickness of the saw blade that will go back inside of here, just a shim out of wood. And then there will be 3 bolts that will go through each side that we can tighten and loosen and put this thing back together time and time again. This is, you can hear it, it's very hard, very durable. I equate it to like skateboard wheel material. It's even harder than that. It's really exciting stuff. And so this is, like I said, this is going to allow us to make our own shells. We've got the glue that we use, we found the right compound for that, and we can either mill the lumber here, we can buy the lumber pre-milled to our specification. We have a few manufacturers that that'll do that for us. So this is another very important step in the process. This is really, really great stuff. So anyway, I'm going to turn this off here. I'm going to focus back over here, and I'm going to go size this shell. You've seen me do this a number of times, and I don't think it's necessary to have to show you how to do this again. But next step when we come back will be to start sanding all these shells.